Hello, hello, hello again, DrayBarrels. We're back. How are you, Governor?
May the fourth be with you.
You are gonna make my kid a very happy kid. I don't know about the salute though. That's
Oh, Star Wars thing in it.
it's
Um,
Mr.
I'm using
Spock.
name it's Spock's in it from the other one. Mr. Spock's. Doctor
It's a Vulcan. Uh,
is it Doctor Spock's?
wasn't he a real doctor, Doctor Spock?
Anyway, it's not the right one. I was winding you up. But
Okay.
yes, as for mentioned before we go anywhere, may the fourth be with you. And as promised on the Instagram earlier, I promised I'd drink these two before tonight's show, which I did. And they were nice little IPAs.
Oh,
Store
okay.
ones, these cool little cans. They got all little gumph on them, like support the empire, buy more beer, brew for victory. And what does this one say? It says, uh, oh, hang on, no, maybe it's that one again. It says something about join, taste the galaxy. Oh, I can't read it in this light, but it said something like,
Join the Empire.
join the, join the empire and see the galaxy for free.
Oh, it makes sense. Sign up, and it's kind of like joining the army, I suppose, in
Right.
five terms.
There was a third one which I didn't get my hands on, but those two have been a little treat. Wet the old whistle before the show.
Lovely, lovely. That's which I am desperate to do. So, I don't know about you. Well, you've had a pint. I do want to just quickly bring a little something up. We haven't had any correspondence unless you had this week, but it was something that's been on my mind a little bit.
I've
And
well, I've had stuff, but nothing outstanding. Just a few compliments, which was quite nice. But yeah, what have you got for us then?
well, I keep getting asked by several Dray barrels. Maybe it's just over here because they're acknowledged on the subject. But what is drayman? So I'm gonna just read this off, if I may, and give you a spiel what a drayman is. And I swear we've mentioned this, so I don't know why people keep asking me it. It's kind of
Because they're fucking stupid.
so I will. I'm not going to mention any Dray barrel names out of respect for the Dray barrels. But let listen to this, and we're telling you straight right now what a drayman is. Okay, a
Go on then.
drayman was historically the driver of a dray, a low flatbed wagon with sides, pulled generally by horses or mules that were used to transport all kinds of goods. And just the modern use relating to, the beer industry and such, that could be a general thing. You could be transporting anything. The term is also used for brewery delivery men, even though routine horse-drawn deliveries are almost entirely extinct.
Unfortunately.
Some, some breweries still maintain teams of horses and dray, but these are used only for special occasions like festivals and such, or opening premises and stuff like that. Now, there are some breweries still delivering daily, weekly, using the horse. And I'm just going to name these quickly because I've reviewed quite a few from one. Hook Norton in Oxfordshire and Sam Smith's of Tadcaster in Yorkshire. Samuel Smith's.
Lovely, lovely people, eh? I love the way you started that. It's very forceful. Like, I'm going to tell you what a drayman is, what a dray barrel is, what a dray cart horse is, and you will listen to me.
You will listen.
Just
Just tell him.
the nod to the brewing scene throughout the years, and if it wasn't for draymen, I always see draymen as the glue of breweries. They link breweries and where things are made to pubs and outlets. And if it wasn't for the drayman, then your pumps would run dry. And I still see, the lorry drivers, the van drivers that deliver from breweries. I still see them as draymen.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. It's a bit more modern, obviously, with technology changing, and I always and fond memories of being up the valley. Even if I go back now, I'd see it. They still have the cellar trap doors at one
Yeah,
of the valley clubs in Wales,
yeah.
and they still obviously lower them down. Not like the one you used to talk about that was up on what was it like the second?
Yeah, that was a modern one. That was a modern building, but the old ones tended to be, ground level, and there'd be two trap doors that would suddenly they could open and just roll them down. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
exactly. And I always used to get
Rolling
nervous and
barrel.
yeah,
Yeah.
roll your barrels in, fellas. But there you go. That's that. And I think probably shall we get to our usual segment, which is obviously I's got some beer news for you.
Well, I have this week. Let me tell you.
Oh,
We turn up the paper like someone on the news.
oh,
My beer news this week comes from Blighty itself, Britain, Great Britain, Rule Britannia, and it comes from the top of the tree, the Queen. God,
what?
God bless you, Ma'am. This relates to you. You have hit the big time now, as you are on the DrayMens beer news of the week. It
Wow.
regards her Sandringham estate. Now, for anyone over in America, you know that the Queen lives in London, in Buckingham Palace. She also has Windsor Castle, which is up the road. She's got various ones all around the country. And Sandringham Estate is in Norfolk, which is a county of England,
Hmm.
which is on the east coast, just about the middle, just below the middle, but it's on the east coast. And the Sandringham estate is above King's Lynn, which is a place which can easily be found on the map. Well, this comes from that estate. And guess what? She's only gone into brewing.
No, get out.
Oh, from the estate, they have harvested the organic Laureate spring barley, which is all on the estate. And they use that barley. And locally at the Barsham Brewery, which is in Norfolk, not very far away, very local to Sandringham, they have brewed a couple of beers for us.
Oh man.
They brewed a Sandringham Best Bitter, which is a 4.3%,
Ooh.
and a Sandringham Golden IPA, which is a straight 5%. Now, these can be found only really locally and on the estate in the shop when it's open. 3.99 a bottle. So she's not trying to fleece us.
No, that's a good price.
Yeah, that's reasonable. And that would be a pint. Let me tell you, I've seen the designs. You've got a pheasant on one and you've got a hare on the other with a countryside scene in the background. So fair play to the Queen. I hope that she tried them.
Oh yeah, I'm wondering now. Next year is her big jubilee, I believe. So
Yeah.
maybe, we got some time. If we're ever in the region, maybe we can get some for that special Drayman's Royal Special next year.
I'd love it if they said, "Oh, would you like to try a sample?" And they go to give her a little one, and she's a bit like Uncle Bryn. And hey, what you doing? I'm having a pint. She just making a pint of Sandringham Best.
Oh, brilliant! Oh, I'd love to see
On
that.
the cab. So, bit of good news. She hasn't had the best news recently.
No.
Gold mom, but this goes with other little adventures, which is or little sidelines, which she always has. Also has a side of gin, which
Hmm.
they're knocking a Buckingham Palace one as well. And old Charlie Charles, the Prince himself, has got his own gin, which they sell on the Duchy estate, and that's selling like hotcakes as well. In fact, it's
Oh.
sold out. So yeah, I'll try my best. I think it's only going to be in the Norfolk region at the moment. But yeah,
Yeah, but in time, give it time, it may expand a little bit, and that's cool. And God save the Queen. That's brilliant.
oh, hickory cough for the Imam. So let's hope she likes them hops. I know that.
Yeah, no, that's great. I never even thought about that, but yeah, royal beer, fair play on her. So. Great, thank you for that.
Yeah,
Um,
nice. Cheery news.
yeah, definitely, definitely. It's nice to hear that instead of dreary news. Anyway, shall I pour mine as you gave
Well,
us the news?
hang on. What do you mean? Or what? Is there
Beer?
some theme to this week or what?
Oh, I do apologize. I should have given a bit of announcement. Now, listen, as you all know, and we are consistent, if anything, we did say we were going to go for a sour cider kind of themed week this week.
I was going
So
to try my best to get a cider or something nearby. Well,
you
let
were.
before you start pouring, I'll let you go first. But I managed to source a couple. And then
Oh,
a very good friend of mine, whispers of the cellar and whatnot, I had a special delivery. So suddenly, the man that was only bitter and never sour is suddenly very, very sour indeed. And I've got a bevy of beauties in the fridge behind me, all different sours, which I'll save a couple more back. But I've chosen one this week to join you with, and it'll be
so,
my first tiptoes into a proper sour.
so you've never had a sour, is that right?
Not to my knowledge, not to buy a can and it's got sour on it. Like I said, it's not as popular over here as it is in America, so it's not something that I've ever
Right.
really.
Wow, this is fascinating. I'm excited. He's all stocked up.
I'm gonna go and get it out the fridge, keep it nice and cool.
Oh, lovely, lovely. It is a treat, Dray Barrels. He has sours. I have sours. I think he has more sours than me. Now, that's a first because I normally keep a lot stocked up. So I'm excited. This is brilliant. We're both doing a sour.
Is we'll see what happens. So what have you got? I'll let you.
Okay. So I got two glasses. This is a first as well. This is a first for I think, to my knowledge.
A double vision, yeah.
I've got two sours from the
Okay.
same brewery, Martin House,
Oh, look at
and
that.
because they're just half pours, I thought I'd just do like a double. I'm not going to talk about Martin House because I've talked about them before, so I just talk about the beers. So
Hey,
I,
I suppose that they're advertising for staff. If I lived in America, because I'm at a bit of a loose end
yeah.
regarding what's going on in the future, I wouldn't mind having a working at one of these places.
Oh, wouldn't I think you'd fit it right in, especially in this one that's producing all these, you know? This one's called Snozberries, and it's fruited sour with pineapple, cherries, and orange. And
Ooh.
apparently, he's a character from a movie my wife told me I've seen actually. It's called Super Troopers. I don't know if you've seen it. It wasn't very funny, but
Yeah,
she,
but ABBA.
ABBA. Oh yeah, yeah, the song, right?
It's not about them, no.
No, it's about state
No.
troopers, a bunch of idiots, and she loves it, but I'm not thrilled. This one's called Saint Rita, and it's a margarita sour with strawberries, 8%. Um, and this one's 8%, so double whammy there.
We're going
Um,
to try first then. What's the first pour?
I'll do this snooze. I'll come back to that in a bit. I'll be quick on these probably. Snooze berries. I think the character was called Snooze in that movie. Probably totally wrong by that, but there we go.
Might have been called berries.
Maybe. You snooze, you lose, as they say, right? So there's the pour.
It's lovely. Look at that.
Oh, I'm excited for you to try a sour. This is going to be brilliant. And just to recap, fruited sour with pineapple, cherries, and oranges. It just tastes berries, yeah. Can't pick up the orange or pineapple. But you know that it's very distinct, that sour taste. You know what you're going to get.
Oh, I don't.
See? It's a big adventure for you today. Oh, that's tart. Tart, I say. But yeah, oranges. I'm definitely picking up the orange now. I'm struggling with the pineapple. I'm sure it's there somewhere. It's a bit of a mix. So yeah, that's just a good, solid, refreshing summer sour. Anyway, get pouring. I don't want to see you.
Yes, let's get a pour on. So I've gone for a bigger can. This was gifted to me. Birthday coming up soon. It was an early birthday present from someone that we both knew.
That's a treat.
Yeah, lovely gentleman.
Nice.
And anyway, so this is from Overtone Brewing, which is in Scotland
Ooh.
Shire, Scotland Shire, as you Americans call it, or as we call it, Scotland.
I've never heard that before.
Anyway, this is called Eton Marlowe's, and it is an 8% sour. Now, let me list the ingredients it's got on here.
We're all 8%.
So we got a thick fruited sour loaded with raspberries, lingonberries, strawberries, and balanced with Madagascan vanilla pods for sweetness. Then we've added a ton of mini marshmallows for the extra creamy fluffiness. And then it says, sup up your beer.
Oh,
So do you think this is actually going to be a sweet one?
it sounds like it. I wouldn't say, I mean, like I've talked about this before, most sours aren't really sweet. You're getting into cider territory if you're kind of getting down that road. So I don't know.
It says sour. Look here, Eton Mess Sour.
Oh, okay. So it's obviously designed after the
Yes.
dessert. Yeah.
The dessert that was made at Eton Schoolboy. So there's the. Oh, it smells sour. I can feel my balls contracting.
Oh, there's a sight.
A sight. There you go.
Oh, wow,
yeah.
that's thick.
He's thick. It did say that on the back.
That is a milkshake right there. Good
That
grief.
milkshake the other week. It's a bit like that.
So smell.
Yeah, it's definitely a sourness to that. Well, let's just stop talking this and get it down my gullet, see what it tastes like.
Okay.
It does smell like a dessert, actually.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, that's sour.
Oh, brilliant.
It's hollowing my cheeks out there.
Oh, that's what you want. So,
Well, it's quite nice. I know what you mean when we've gone on about some ciders we've had before, and that obviously that sour taste.
yeah.
But this is pleasant taste because I like raspberries and strawberries and any red berry I like anyway, and I think that always helps. But it's
Definitely.
nice.
Yeah, it's and I think see,
Yeah.
sour isn't a big term in the UK, and I'll probably talk a little bit about it in a minute what a sour actually is because I've got some gumph
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah, I'd like you to give a bit of gumph on that proper.
On what they actually are, and it's probably a good time as any before you talk about your brewery because I'm not.
Talk
'Cause
to
I've
me
told-
about sours then. Let's lay it on the line.
Yeah, so like I've said before, I think we've had sours in pubs. We've told you about this before, where ciders that really tasted very tart, very pull in your mouth type of deal. And I think if you got down to the line, they should have been classified as sours. So a sour beer, basically, this is description for your Dray barrels, so a sour beer is intentionally acidic, tart, and sour of taste. Traditional sour beer styles include Belgium lambics, I've never heard of those, Guays, and Flanders red ale. So we're talking European here in style, the
Yeah, my
continent.
wife likes some of them cherry beers and that you get over there. You know?
That's probably what I'm surprised by the red ale, but I've never had a Flanders red ale. And a German Gose as well, which is a traditional style. So just
Well, I got a gooseberry one of them.
oh, there you go. Maybe that's the style. You need to give that a go. So making a sour beer is risky and specialized form of beer brewing, apparently. and long-standing breweries which produce it and other lambics, I guess that's the term, often specialize in this and Belgian beer styles. And I gotta say, I know this is the case because like there's certain breweries here that just specialize in sours.
Yeah, I've got you. Yeah.
You know, they just go down that road. I mean, Martin House, for instance, they do mostly sours and stouts, and that's it. They don't really branch out into other styles as much. So it sounds pretty complicated.
Yeah.
So a sour was established in 1836. So one of the oldest breweries still in operation that produces sour beer is Rodenbach Brewery in Belgium. Oh, interesting. And sours also spread outside Belgium to other European countries, which we know. And it basically says European countries, USA and Canada as the primary places for sour.
I can sort of understand. I did mention it before, I sort of preempted it. That I think that they're more popular just from tasting this one tonight. On a wider scale, if you like, in where you are, because you're largely in hot climes, and I can see that, you know, these type of things are, that is a summery type of drink.
Mm.
You know, it's a flavor. Yeah, it is sour, but the berries and things like that, it is refreshing at the same time. So, you know, like this, if you gave it, obviously there's alcohol in it, it doesn't knock you for six. Like if you had a lager that was an 8%, you'd know it when
Yeah.
you were drinking it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you
But
would.
with it, so you could just drink this. It tastes a bit. To me, it's like a fruit punch type of thing with a bit of lemonade. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So it's not like you could probably drink a load of this before you and then suddenly be drunk.
It'll sneak up on you. And I mean, I've had stronger ones than this. These are 8% and you're 8%. So we're all eights today.
See,
On
now that is another thing. Like that is an 8%. Over here, I've been really looking since we've been doing this. There isn't many beers that are more than that.
Wow.
Like tiny little ones that we've mentioned, Gold Label, which is a really old one, and things like that. There isn't really any that are hugely, hugely massive. Where I am in the shops, you could probably order some, but where you are, you can seem to pick up a 12% off the thing, no problem.
It's crazy, and there's a lot, you know, even IPAs and stuff, 12%ers and really strong ones. There's a brewery called Dogfish that do really high IPAs, and we're talking about 9, 12 stronger, you know. So I don't know. I wonder if there's something in regulations, alcohol laws in Britain that maybe kind of try and discourage that a little bit, because you know there are issues with alcoholism, especially in the north, you know, Scotland and places where there's less
Actually,
daylight.
from Scotland.
That's where you get the strong stuff.
That little segue is quite nice. Shall I give a little bit of stuff on it then?
Yes, please, Gav.
We go back. It's Overtone Brewing. Now, Overtone Brewing, type that in .com, boom, you're straight on their website. Incredible, the internet these days. And they are based in northwest Glasgow, just a road or two in from the banks of the River Clyde, which runs right through the middle of Scotland. They have been going only since the summer of 2018.
Wow.
Fairly recent.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, it was a guy called, no, not a very Scottish name, but his name's Bo-Wei Wang, which to me, that could be Japanese originally. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, Bo-Wei Wang was the founder. It was his dream to open a brewery, and he went for it. And he hired in the head brewer, a guy called Dan Miller. Now, Dan Miller is what we over here call an American.
Oh, interesting.
He is from New Hampshire.
Wow.
Not Hampshire in England, but obviously New Hampshire in the US of A. Now, he was brought over because of his unique brewing techniques and his knowledge and his depth and his ideas and all that. He came over and he works alongside the assistant brewer, who was just simply called Charlie, who's a Scottish person who also had his own ideas. And together, they've been putting out a lot of beers and really wanted to have a go at the Scottish craft beer scene. And they seem to be doing really well within that short amount of time. They're already exporting to 12 different markets around the world.
Yeah.
This one came to me. Fantastic artwork, by the way. I love that.
Yeah, so it's kind of wavy, right? If anyone's listening.
Like a marbling effect on the side of the can, but only on part of it, so it makes it stand out more, I think. But yeah, they pride themselves in what they call being a fully fluid brewery, which means that they each month are introducing new beers and new recipes and trying new things, which is great. They believe that top quality ingredients equal beers bursting with flavour, and this certainly is bursting with flavour. It's very nice. And the majority of their beers are vegan friendly, unless they've added lactose. A couple of them, then they're really friendly. What else have I got to say about them? They've got beers on tap in pubs in London, Glasgow, Edinburgh, and Dundee so far. So they're doing pretty well. I mean, that's incredible, really. It's only 3 years. And last
space.
Yeah. So really pretty well. Their website, you can order things from it. A few of their beers, if you want to know. We've got Dancing on the Moon, which is a double IPA, Perfect Harmony, and Ouija, which are both IPAs. And you got one called Stoter, which is an oatmeal stout. But there's plenty on there. There's about, 25 beers at the moment that you can order, but they're always changing their stock and always brewing new things. So they're doing really well.
That's fantastic. Well, like you said, I just kind of shocked. They started a little bit before COVID, and obviously it's been tough on all of these breweries and pubs through COVID and such, but they're still going strong. That's wonderful. I guess the delivery markets helped a lot, right, in the UK.
In fact, we weren't just on about jobs. I was on their website earlier when we were looking into it, and they're actually hiring a driver. They're looking for a driver at the moment for a few hours a week. So if anyone out there, any of our Scottish DrayBarrels, especially around the Glasgow area, Glaswegian.
Can't do that accent.
Yeah, can't do the accent. Hello there, will you? No, I can't do it. If anyone's out there, look them up. Overtone Brewing are looking for a driver. If not, a drayman. How about that? That's all looped in.
Oh, that has tied into what we were talking about.
We're getting shit out of this game, let me tell you.
You can't, you can't train this. This just comes to us.
One thing just to mention about them, a lot of these breweries, the Scots up there that we mentioned before, and some from London and that, they're all going for the environmental angle. Mother Earth is valuable and we've got to look after her. So any malt that they use, they give to the local farmer who spreads it on the land and uses it again. And their cardboard is all composted. Nothing away. Everything's 100%. And then there was this other thing, 100% recyclable. This other thing that I've got to look into a bit better than this, but it's called Key Keg, which is an environmentally friendly way of kegging beer, or the keg it's put in rather. So,
so maybe next week you can give us the skinny on that, right?
Well, sometime in the future, yeah. Let's just
don't hold you to that.
Yeah, I don't want to get any. We're on a good one this week. I don't want to start getting a load of hate again.
It's been all very positive so far recently.
It's May the 4th and all that.
Definitely. I mean,
May the 4th be with you. I get that. May the 4th be with you. All right. What does it actually mean?
Don't get me started on that. It's just obviously I just get wound up that could be a drag, couldn't it? That it doesn't really work. I mean, it works a bit, but
Why they've done it is because when they re-released that one of those Star Wars, I think it may have been like when they done those first three
oh,
again. Those years, I think it was first released on May the 4th, just to tie it in, just as a gimmick.
oh, maybe that's it. But
Now it's Star Wars Day and all stuff like that.
well, I still get wound up that they changed the name from it from Star Wars to Star Wars: A New Hope. I just liked it as a Star Wars, the first movie.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, didn't you know that? Yeah, it was called Star Wars, and then it was The Empire Strikes Back, or Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. But it
But
was
then
always
it was called Revenge of this. It was called Revenge of the Jedi, even when they were filming it, and then they changed it to Return of the Jedi before that when they were cutting the film.
I did hear that.
There's
Oh,
all merchandise with Revenge of the Jedi on it.
Jedi. Oh, there you go. So you get all your sci-fi buffs out there. You're getting a little bit of this now.
Hey, I've
Brilliant.
not to know, but I've got a link with Lando, so I know these things.
Special relationship, yeah. Not like Marco Solo. Anyway, I'm gonna just pour mine.
Giving all that up, in you, the old Marco Solos. Now you're married.
Yeah, I'm thinking of calling my dog Polo. Polo! Marco, where's Polo? Anyway, this is my second beer. It's the Margarita Sour Strawberries.
Have you drunk that first one? Has it gone?
There was a little bit left at the bottom for the drag. I gotta keep a drag for this and a drag for that, or I'll get complaints. Ah,
Half a fucking. There we go, folks. I'll keep
that
him.
drag.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do.
Okay, so this one I'm more excited. This smells a lot sweeter.
I'll go on there.
So might have a little tasting glass. Oh, and it's not so much of a head on it. Have you noticed that, Governor?
Well, it will be if you bring the can up, hold it up higher.
Oh,
No, not that.
oh, yeah. So we deliver this shit. We don't pour it, and it's fizzy. It's fizzing.
Yeah, this one did actually a little bit.
Oh, okay.
You get them muck bullets down the side, don't you, with a sour? Much like a side, an old farmhouse side, you get a bit of muck and bullets down the side.
You do, but it's yeah, you're right, and it's actually I'm just so that just looks so different from well, no, I have had a milkshakey sour before, but look how clear that is compared to yours. How fizzy. That's almost like a
That looks like a cider.
it does. So I'm wondering how different this will be from that one. That is very different. Definitely not as sour. It almost tastes more like a champagne, a little bit smoother.
Oh, like a
Oh,
champagne cocktail, maybe.
it does. It does. Obviously, it's not sweet. That is more in the vein. That would remind me more of a cider than this, you know. But not sweet. Not sweet. So just kind of if you're talking a very I mean, you think about it, Strongbow's not overly sweet, is it, compared to some ciders?
I thought Strongbow was a dry cider. I don't know. I don't drink it. So.
I think Woodpecker's a dry cider as well. It could, yeah, you're probably right there. They do so many different styles now. You'd be amazed how many different styles of Strongbow there are. Different berries. I think there's a
Oh,
watermelon one.
day one and all this shit. I don't know. I don't drink cider.
Yeah.
Ever since I gave up my white lightning days, what's the point?
But you're for life, that. So yeah, this is good.
Still got the scars.
Huh?
I've still got the scars.
I bet. Hanging about under railway bridges as the gang of yobbos come along, and then you just.
Two brands. There was either white lightning or diamond white.
I'm trying to
Anything
think.
else was not worth it.
White lightning. I always remember getting white lightning, but big old, and we call them flagons, right? Flagons of, and I do remember the flagons of woodpecker cider. You know, that was, I think it must have been cheaper or easier to get in the valleys. You know, no good boyos hanging
Maybe
about
you'd have
outside.
tap woodpecker. I remember that on tap.
Yeah, you don't see that anymore, to be honest.
That's the thing, we've gone on about pubs before, but you could go in a pub in one, in one, like a small village, like say it had three pubs. You could go in one pub and it would have four or five or six different things on tap, and then like different things. And then it would have, a lager and maybe a Guinness or a Murphy's back then or whatever. And then you could go in another pub and it would have a different selection. But now it seems that
You're
pubs
right.
are pretty much the same, unless it's a local, like where I was the other day. That was a local beer, and I had that Grampus. That was local to the pub. But
Yeah.
or Exmoor, where they have Exmoor Ale, or Dartmoor where they have that. But other pubs, they tend to be, there's not much. There's a lot of variety, but they tend to all have the same stuff.
Well, yeah, if you go to like a Weatherspoons or somewhere like that, one of these big commercial pubs, I think it's more in that vein. So I'm gonna mention that, like the Masons actually in Bridgend or Brinkeffin, my local when I go home, they always have two guest ales or three guest ales, and they normally have Abbot ale as well. But they all, but otherwise it's like Carlin, Foster's, Strongbow. I think they do Strongbow Berry now on tap.
The other thing
Um,
I used to like in pubs, not just that, was that the fact that you would get maybe the great big, proper barrels where they have to pump it through with a huge, great, massive handle on it, and then you'd get the taps, and then you'd get but you would have a different size pumps, different. And I remember like, going back to that woodpecker one, it would be, for some reason I'm remembering it, some pub, just a little black tap, and you'd have all the different shapes and sizes of the shields of the whatever you were drinking, woodpecker, Carlin, Exmoor Ale, Guinness, whatever it was, and they were all shapes over the bar, different
yeah.
size. Now that's all gone, and it's one big brass thing with what it is, which is all right. But I used to like the haphazardness.
Well, I talk about, you saw me in the Winchester the other day. Next time I go down there, I'll get a little video or photo. And you go along, and it's all the different breweries because they do a lot of breweries there, and different, like the Guinness has its distinctive one. Carlsberg, they do Kronenberg, but they got like Alamo Brewing, Golden Ale as well, and it's all different. So it's kind of old fashioned in a way, and I like that. You know, I've been to a lot of breweries and it's all the same. And like there's actually one we go to, it's like a brew garden really, and it's all different breweries. And it's all the same, but they have all the different labels above, so you can see the different styles at least, you know?
I love
So
that.
it's great. It's great. And like you say, yeah, we're losing that character a little bit in some
Yeah,
way.
it's difference. If everything was the same circular shape and all that, it would, you could get different designs, but it's just a bit boring, a bit uniformed. I liked it when it was all haphazard and interesting. And then you say, "Oh, have you got anything on? You got, I don't know, keep going back to woodpecker, but you got a cider on tap," and they'd go to the other end of the bar. There's one cider tap.
Yeah.
Not many people drank it, and they had a small little barrel the other end type of thing. I loved all that.
It's kind of a joint.
Worked in that pub in the middle of Wales somewhere, didn't you? What was that pub called?
Ooh, me?
Yeah.
When was this? Sorry. Uh,
Look, folks, I'll have to say he really has got a bad memory.
I
When you was
did.
in your placement, you worked in a fucking pub in Wales.
Oh yeah, so that was in Llandilo, and it was run by two very camp gentlemen who like their ABBA. But that was in mid Wales. Llandilo is kind of Carmarthen area. Um, you know,
I've just reminded you. What was the pub called?
the Horse and Hounds, and it was kind of out of the way of anything really. It wasn't in Llandilo; it was a country pub, as I recall. And yeah, I used to help behind the bar and just mostly collect glasses, though. You know, I was more of a on the tables type of helper out there. But again, it was a big old country pub and had all the different kind of local beers as well. Obviously, your general beers and stuff like that. But yeah, I love those places. I love
Yeah.
that place. But
Yeah.
thanks for reminding me.
No, I know.
I,
I seem to
I,
know your history better than you do.
I thought he was on about. I thought you were on about a pub I visited to, and I was like, bloody hell! I've been to some pubs in my day. But how are you getting on with your beer, or are we getting to?
Well, no, I mean, the thing is, I should have, if I'd have had another can, I would have just poured it straight in. I have enjoyed it.
Good.
For popping my cherry in front of camera and for the folks at home on the podcast, it's been a pleasant experience.
Brilliant.
Not embarrassing at all. It's gone quicker than I thought.
That's gone down fast, actually.
I've enjoyed it.
You're getting to the dreg, so I guess we should get into that, I suppose. And do you know what it is?
Oh, it's dregs of the week.
And I'm kind of getting to my dregs. So,
double dregging this week, so I'm going to let him go second because he's a double dregger, so he can catch up. Mine's a quick dreg, really, and it's a bit of a boring one. I was going to go in on something else, and I thought, no, not on my first time, not on my first sour can I bring in the tone down. So really, it's just the English weather. And this weekend in the UK was a bank holiday, which means that the Monday following the weekend, we have it as a day off. I didn't. I worked the Sunday and the Monday. So really I only had one day, but, you know, get the violins out and whatnot.
Mayday, right?
Yeah, but I went for that run, as anyone who follows us on Instagram know. I had some time between appointments in my job. I went for a little run. I managed to get to a pub that I really enjoy and had a cheeky pint and then ran back. It was about 2.5 miles each way up and down the cliffs. And it was lovely. And as I said, when I was there, I was the first through the door and the place wasn't very busy. As I left, there were people coming in. But as it goes, about an hour after that, it pissed with rain the whole day.
No.
So from 1 o'clock in the afternoon, bearing in mind over here at the moment, we're still not allowed in pubs. It's only pub gardens and outside. One of their biggest days of the year, the Maybank holiday, was a washout. And I felt so sorry for them. A lot of the pubs, one of my dregs the other week was, why didn't they give it any effort when the pubs were allowed to open and go for it big style and open the pubs then. A lot of the pubs held back for this weekend, make a big go of it, a 3-day affair. And as I drove back about 3 hours later, I was passing these pubs that should have been crowded. They should have been and there wasn't anyone there because it was just pissing down with rain. And that was my dreg, really, the weather. It was awful. A couple of the pubs, actually, pub, not my local, but one about a couple of miles away. They're doing a thing now. Obviously, we're not allowed in the pubs. You have to sit outside. A 9-pint pitcher, 30 quid. Give them 30 quid, you get 9 pints of beer. In this pod thing like that, they whack it on the table. Underneath it, you got your own tap.
Oh, brilliant.
9 pints, 30 quid. And I reckon on Monday, they probably would have sold at least 100 of them over the day. And I don't suppose they even sold one because it was such a washout. And then, of course, today, Tuesday, I was driving back past these same pubs and they're empty again because everyone's at work. So,
and the weather's good today.
Weather this afternoon was all right. Cold, a bit cold in the morning. It's not very warm, but it was sunny this afternoon for those few hours that on Monday would have been lovely. So it's just the British weather. It's
it's
it's for anyone. Festivals, beer gardens, parties, anything like that. It doesn't give a shit. It'll piss down when it wants to.
I know. I've been there many a time.
But that's it. It was just the weather, really.
You know, I always remember, and this was a drag, I was like washing stone when I was landscaping. It was in Devon when I lived there, and it was pissing down with rain. It was absolutely torrential. And I was out in this garden, and the supervisor was like, "We need to get all this stone clean." I was like, "Well, it's raining. The mud is washing off this stone. No, you need to scrub it." So I sat there, pissing down rain with a brush, washing stone out of a bucket, putting in a bucket, washing stone. Cheers, Howard. Bucket, washing stone. And I was like, at that point, I was like,
yeah, cool.
Yeah, I was, I was like, no more, please. I need to get out of this shit, or it's going to kill me. Luckily, I did get out of that.
And now I'm just getting cooked every single day.
Just baked on my noggin, but there we go. Anyway, my Greg.
Nice bit of brisket.
Oh, I love brisket. My drag this week is toilet etiquette, if I may.
I did listen, everyone. I tried to keep it pleasant. I only mentioned the weather. I had something a lot worse. And then he turns up with a bit of toilet etiquette. So let's see where this is going to go.
I won't drag us down too far, or restroom etiquette, as you would call it here. Now, this has been bugging me, and this is work-related bathroom etiquette. Hey, that's not bad.
Fucking bathrooms when you're having a piss in a urinal.
I won't tell you about a cafe in Wales that had a bath in their toilets, but that's another story for another day.
I want to know where that is. Tell me off. Go on then.
Yeah. But anyway, so we're in work now. For me, my personal thing is like I go into the toilet, and if I'm taking a number one, I lift the seat up to do it, and then I put it back down. And it's just good manners to put it back down for women. We have a men's and women's restroom, and so, but people, I put
it down for women if they don't use that room. They've got their own.
Exactly, that's the thing.
Oh, right, here we go.
So they're leaving it down and peeing, and I'm like, nah, I can't do that. And then I lift it up, and there's pee running down the seat, on the inside of the seat, and then it slips through onto the outside of the seat. So when I put it down, there's pee on the outside of the seat, and I got to wipe it off. Lift the bloody seat up when you take a pee. So I think, and I don't know if it's a common thing here. I need to ask somebody. But
so who do you think it is then? Who's the culprit?
I don't know.
Where you work. I mean, once again, you're never vague. It's someone you work with, and only work in a two-man team.
Well, there's a few gentlemen, I can say that. And maybe it's a thing, but if they were sitting down and doing it, it wouldn't end up on the seat, would it? So they've got to be.
What, you want them to sit down and have a piss?
I wouldn't mind. Hey, each to their own. I don't give a monkeys. If you want to do that, at least I won't have to clean the piss off the bloody seat afterwards, right?
Why don't you clean it off if you're having a piss?
Well, why am I wiping it up? I just feel obliged to the next person coming in. What if they're coming in for number two? And then it's like that pee from, not me, from the previous person.
I want to go in there and have a quiet number three.
I friggin' well hope not. But anyway.
The mood away. You've gone in for a little mini disco, you're all up for it, and there's piss all over the seat.
There's a shower in there as well, so it's a full-on bathroom. But
I want to know who it is.
don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's just pissing me off now, pardon the pun. But but talking about that, I mean, it's not really bothers me, but we talk about kids and stuff in the bathroom and the mess that's left sometimes. My my little boy, I went in there, he doesn't flush the toilet lately, and I went in there and flushed it, but I went to flush it because I heard he hadn't done it. And I looked in there and there's nothing there. And I look on the floor, pee everywhere, just on the floor. I'm like, you what? So it's like
Actually, Matt,
bathroom.
he don't go in there with a switch, does he? That's what my kids do.
Oh no, it's the iPad. Not
Oh,
the
well,
Switch.
same sort of thing.
Yeah,
They got
exactly.
distracted, didn't they?
I know, it's not like reading the paper in there, is it? It's this Switch and so
One of,
anyway,
one of my kids a few years back, we had a downstairs toilet. Well, we lived in an upside down house, so the bathroom was downstairs with an actual bath and separate shower in it. And we had the clothes basket next to the shower, big one, and then the toilet. And he was so distracted that he sat half on the seat and wedged, and then shat on the floor.
how from being distracted by the technology?
Realised he'd done it.
Oh God, I
Left the
know.
toilet, walked out, just a shat on the floor.
And
I
just
mean,
left it.
I blame my children, but
Yeah, I do.
my wife, I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, let's move on and get to your rating. I mean, we could go on for hours on this.
I knew you'd bring it down. You always find a way. Anyway, let's go on. There we go. There's me drag.
Yeah.
I'm going to polish it off and give my rating right there. It's my first sour. I've enjoyed it. I've actually really enjoyed this one. It's Overtone Brewing. Eaton Marlowe's it's called, but it's the Eaton Mess.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and find a few more of their beers.
Oh, brilliant.
The quality is there. It's really nice. It's thick. It's tasty. It's tart as well. Which is what I wanted. I wanted a sour that was sour, and it is. But the berries in it, like I said, I am a fan of red berries. It's been a pleasant drink. The actual Eaton Mess side of it, that would be mixed with meringue and what else, cream, things like that in the dessert. That isn't in there. I was worried it might be a bit like some of them stouts we've had that are too sweet and sickly. It isn't. It's just a really nice drink. So I haven't had another sour to rate it against, but this will now be my benchmark.
Okay.
I'm banging in an 8.5 for it.
Oh, wow.
I weren't looking forward to it. I ain't going to lie. I weren't looking forward to this sour scene. You know, I think we should get back to lagers and just get pissed up and talk nonsense. Even more than we do. But no, I've enjoyed it. So we're going Overtone Brewing, and I'll look out for a few more beers of yours in the future. So what are we going for you then? Are we going for a double rating?
I probably just rate them separate, right? I mean, they're both, like I said, they're both different. Snozzberries and Saint Rita, and this is strawberry. So they're all berries, really. Fruited sour, pineapple, cherries, and strawberries. So I did actually, the snoozeberry, this colourful character here, Martin House Brewing again. Both of these Martin House Brewing. I didn't enjoy this one as much. It was okay, but this one pipped the post a little bit because it was slightly different. Reminded me more of a champagne, like I said. This is probably more in tune with most sours I've had. Maybe it's just having something different has pipped the edge on it. So I am going to give this, I mean, I like my sours, so that's a 7 for me. This one, this margarita sour, my wife loves margaritas. I'm going to give an 8 on this one.
Right, so, an 8 for Saint Rita.
Thoroughly enjoying Saint Rita today. It's a hot day, perfect. So there you go.
Could have done it out on the porch in the sun. Why not?
I know, yeah. If it wasn't so loud out there, I might have. But there we go. Anyway, so we will probably say ta-ra, right?
Or if I was to say no and just say no, probably not, would you keep going forever? Or are you telling us to sew it up?
We could carry on, but nobody on Instagram would ever see us.
No one on Instagram ever does.
I know a few. I know a few at like our Instagram. I know a few at like our YouTubes.
Yeah.
And I don't know many at like our Spotify, apart from me. I love my Spotify. But there we go.
I love my Google podcasts. And I know a couple of we haven't had all of them done, but the ones that we've had done into Braille type, a few of the RAD organisation and that have been on. And so they thoroughly enjoyed that.
Oh, good. On Braille?
Yeah, you couldn't understand your accent when you're trying to do an American one, but
okay.
Yeah, it went very, very well.
Oh, well, that's good. That's something. I didn't know that was out there, but I missed that one. But that's cool. That's all audiences.
One shout out to a DrayBarrel that doesn't know you, because Texas is obviously a vast, vast expanse of land, and I'm not sure whereabouts in Texas they're from, but Texas Pete, thanks for the DM, and we'll look out for one of your beers soon.
Oh, brilliant! So he's going to pipe in with a beer, perhaps at some point.
He said he's got a few beers he's found out about, and a couple of home brews that he's going to, get in contact with us about. That's why I haven't really mentioned him. But Texas Pizza, or Pete, wherever you go. We look forward to it. Thank you.
We look out for you, Texas Pete, and any more DrayBarrels. Just keep the good vibes and the correspondence coming in, and we will see you for a short one in the week.
Ooh, I like a short one.
Me too. I do enjoy one, especially if the jackdaws are involved. Hey, ta-ra, Gav.
Yeah, see you soon. I'll see you in 5 minutes after we end this.
Yeah, I'll see you soon in 5 minutes. Bye-bye.